Hello, this is Corey Machiavelli here. So today, I wanted to make a YouTube shorts out of this, however, I realized it will be longer than 3 minutes to tell the story, but it's still a relatively quick story. I wanted to tell you a bit about my probably craziest and my personally worst ranking experience in bad sexual experience that I ever had. And this was back in the days of 2021, 2022, where I was locked into psychiatry. So there are a couple of, at least I guess, couple of very, let's say, loyal or obsessed subscribers that watch basically anything I do. And of course, then there's different governments who constantly keep tabs on me. So both of them are fans, and I'll greet them in this sentence. But anyways, there was a time when I got diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia and constantly got forcefully locked up in psychiatry. Simply because, well, long story short, I spit fire bars and the government didn't like it, so the government tried to make me mad. Which at the end of the day didn't really work. It worked a couple of times, but not permanently, as this was their goal. And so, what happened once, at one time when I was in psychiatry, is that I met a woman there. Like, I was 21 at the time. Yeah, 21. And I met a woman there who is 31. Looked relatively cute, had a nice body, was relatively skinny. And she was also diagnosed with some kind of, either it was psychosis or other kind of schizophrenia, I don't know. But also, judging from her behavior, probably with narcissistic personality disorder. And she looked good, but she was horrible as a human. So she was unbearable as a human. So she was really annoying, constantly put up shit, etc. And for some reason, she constantly came in front of my room, came to my room, sat on the floor there, like not in the room, but on the hallway, in the evening, right when I was about to go to bed, and constantly spoke something or whatever. And after I opened the door and asked her what was up, why she is staying there, she got into my room and started hanging out with me, spending the night with me. So on my last day before the leave, we actually started hitting it in the psychiatry, in my psychiatric room. And so there's two reasons why this was bad. And the first one is she smelled horrible. She smelled like a can of rotten fish. It was absolutely disgusting. And so, but I was like, fuck it. I haven't had a bitch in like, I don't know how many months. Just hold my nose and get over with it. And so, while we were hitting it, an even more embarrassing thing happened. As she was on top of me, riding on top of me, one of the male nurses, the male psychiatric nurse, came into the room, and I don't remember her name anymore, but let's just call her Miss Grippy, because she was actually really fucking grippy, so the sex itself was relatively good. Well, if we ignore the smell. And the psychiatrist, not the psychiatrist, the male nurse from psychiatry, he came into the room, looked really shocked, and I was like scared as well because I didn't know what would happen. And I was just lying there. I was like, I can't do anything for that. She wanted to do it. And he was like, he didn't even accuse me of anything or something like that. He was just looking at Miss Grippy and told her, like, what are you doing here, Miss Grippy? You know you can't do that. Go back to your room. And Miss Grippy just looked back and started yelling at him like, you don't have anything to tell me. Go do your job, go take care of your own things. Leave me alone, I can do what I want. And both both the psychiatric nurse and me, we just looked each other into the eye. We couldn't like grasp what's happening. Like, what the fuck? What kind of witch is that? And he just gave up. He didn't discuss with her or anything. He just left the room and let us continue our jobs, basically. Like, after this night, still she slept next to beside me, which was a bit annoying because she was constantly snoring and I couldn't sleep because of that. I had trouble sleeping. But after that night, after I woke up, she told me to wait outside, so she knew I would leave at that day. And so she told me to wait outside. She will come outside and give me her number, and I'll like, okay, I'll wait. And as soon as I got out, I ran from the fucking psychiatric facility. I ran as far as I could to the next bus stop, like catching the next bus, hoping she wouldn't follow me, etc. So basically, this was the whole story. At the end, I've never heard of her, and from what I know, I did not impregnate her, luckily, because we were hitting it raw, and I also got tested myself for HIV, syphilis. Luckily, both came back negative, but maybe I should get tested for something else because you can't be too sure at that smell. So that's one of my most yucky stories of my life presented. Thank you for watching.